Ay, sige. Naka-start na ba? Ay, shocks. Kanina pa pala. Oops, sorry. Hi guys, this is Nikki, also known as also known as Physis Trader, and it's Awesome 10x market update for the day. It's October 29, 2020. So let's begin. The Philippine market update. Okay. So the Philippines started with a negative Wall Street last night. So today it's down 2%. Let's take a look at your index. So we're going negative 128 points today. It's 6,249. There was a lot of advancers, but also a lot of decliners. You could see that the overall mood was negative. A lot of shares fell down. Market value is 6.3 billion. So that means that, okay, it's still good value traded turnover. Unchanged 52, declines 147, advancers were 58. You've got a lot of losers for the day. Most of your index is actually down. You could see that PSEI is down, all shares is down, financials, industrials, holdings, properties, mining, services. So it's really a down day, meaning a lot of people were thinking, okay, let me just profit take first after a good run. Remember that last week was very strong. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was just going up, 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 up. And then on Monday, we stalled. Tuesday, we fell. Wednesday, we fell. Thursday, we fell. So the market doesn't forget that we have had a good run. So some of the market players were also selling. So you can see that AEV fell down 5%, Ayala Land fell down 5%, your AP is down 4%, your Bloomberry is down 4%. It would be better to take a look at it knowing the numbers. So let's take a look on the numbers. So on the average, the only ones, let's read it out loud for you. SM Prime 32.8, Meralco 294, Emperador 10, MPI 4, DMC 4.4, Robinson's Retail 64.4, Luciatan Group 12 pesos 11.96, First Gen is still 28.8, SNC 101, Mega Real 3 peso, AGI 7.9, Pure Gold 41.55, GDCap 422.8, Jollibee 172.5, Security Bank 9650, Globe 70, Globe 2060, Bloomberry 706, RLC 1536, Aboy Power 26.3, ICT 114.5, JG Summit 61.95, Telephone 1330, Metrobank 41.7, BPI 72, AC 745, URC 135.2, BDO 89, AEV 42.1, SM 950, Ayala Land 32.2. So in terms of heavyweights, I would say that it's not really as bad as you could see. The biggest decliners would be your Ayala Land, your but these declines are nothing for a day if you take a look given their movements in a week's time. So in about 1 week and how many days they were rallying. And so the index is still way above the moving averages. And the index is actually showing you higher lows despite today's negative drift. Dito Telecom was actually able to rise 662, close 677, while it temporarily fell today at about 620. It managed to close high. Converge, after a successive fall, it actually went up. It's now 15.16, still significantly below that 16.810% down mark from that IPO, but it is still significantly above that 13. It's now trading at 15 or more than 10% higher from that 13 peso mark. So it's actually in a mixed range. Converge is trading with a 20% drop, but also a 10% rally. So it's just ranging at the moment. No momentum on the upside, but no momentum on the downside. It tells you that it's a mixed deal. There's a draw. Bulls and bears are fighting Converge. Now, BDO is still sleeping at about 90 below, so it's 89. I'm not bearish on BDO. I think that a drop near 87 can be taken advantage of. Ayala Land 32, that's normal. It went to 34. I said to you that at 30 below, people were accumulating Ayala Land. So if Ayala Land fell below 30, I would assume that that support will still stay there. And so Ayala Land, if it falls down further after today's 5% drop, it's actually going to give you a buying entry 30 peso below, even if properties are not expected to materially recover in the next year. At the end of the day, Ayala is Ayala. People would still pay a premium for Ayala Land, even if most of the construction, most of the real estate aren't doing so much as an industry. BPI 72, steady. You've got that profit taking at 75. Merrymark down a bit after 350, back to 340, but still significantly above $3. Nonetheless, with Merrymark, the problem here is that nobody thinks that it can go 5 pesos. It's just like 360 and 4 pesos. So it's just in it's just in that neutral area, no? SM is SM 950. You've got that resistance at 1,000. ASEN got profit taken from after hitting 390. It's now 368. That tells you that people are worried about the potential stock rights of ASEN. And people are thinking, should they take profit given that from about $2 peso 20 cents to 30, it's already 390 or up a significant amount, like 50 to 60%, right? So nearing 100. So there's that question mark of people who also followed ASEN back then at about 230 or even 270 or even at $3. So there's that profit taking move on ASEN. It could still be profit taken from. ASEN is still significantly high. Also, even if Dito is strong today, take note that we cannot resist that there will be people will still see that, okay, Dito Telecom, while very strong today, you still got that selling pressure at about 8 and 7. And also, when we said that even if ASEN is very strong, take note that some people are taking profits. So these are all what we see is a profit taking. The same way that it actually consolidated for over a month. September to October, it was sleeping below 320, even fell to 290. So assuming that this is your top at about 3.93, it could fall about 330 or even just stay at 360. But the point here is that it's already being profit taken from. You've got that consolidation happening now for that ASEN. Now, SM Prime and Ayala Land, always almost same tandem, 32, 33, yeah, same lang. So it can fall $30 if the market continues southward. AGI fell to about 790. Take note though that AGI was one of the companies that really had a significant breakout from 7.5. So even if this is pulling back, you could see that this is actually a profitable pullback. So from about 750 area, it went as high as about 865. So I would argue that the people will buy this back at 750. Today, 790. It can even go down to 780 or 760. But I think that this is still a breakout from 750 area. So this is a good move to buy on dips. Now, DNL is actually, I would say, also similar to AGI. Broke that 585. Went to 630, falling down near 6 peso. It could even fall 590. But I think that these are breakouts like DNL and AGI are very strong. About the breakouts, let's take a look at the restaurants. Take note how Jollibee is performing steadily above 168, never even fell below 160. So I would say that this strength is a company that you want to buy on dips. So we could see strength. So write it down. Guys. I'll put it up. AGI, DNL, JFC, very strong. Now, let's take a look at your Maxis and Pizza, which followed your JFC. Your Maxis actually benefited from the movement of Jollibee. It wasn't the leader, it was just a follower. Nonetheless, you've got these resistances, 6.7, 6.1, but because we expect the Jollibee will stay above that 150, we do think that Maxis will stay above this 5 peso level, drops from about 550 all the way to 5. Let's take a look at that area for a buying entry. Now for Pizza, very strong. Pizza managed to hit 7, nearing 7. So any drops of Pizza will always be supported here if it ever falls near 610 again. So it's actually possible that if Jollibee climbs to $200, that Pizza and Maxis will also follow. And do we think that the trend is your friend for your Jollibee? My answer would be yes. Even if I don't know if it's going to take a month or so, we think it's a yes. Okay, following DMC's sell-off because of Semirara last night, bad earnings from Semirara, DMC actually fell, bad market, bad earnings. But take a look, we are saying that DMC has so many projects. We do agree that for a one-year format, it is quite a laggard. From about 7, it fell down to about 3 or 4. Nonetheless, we find that there's value here. So given that there's value, we think that at a 1-month perspective, you want to see that this drops at about 4.18 all the way to 3.98 are actually a buying area. So for the last 3 months, this has been going on a slow uptrend. You don't reverse that fast because, of course, Semirara still has those problems. But as we said, TMC is a diversified base, so it has those water. There's got nickel. They've got construction of homes. It's not just a Semirara play. So the MCI from about 342, assuming this 4 pesos is a support, I would say that from about 4 to 420, 430 levels, you've got a lot of buyers willing to have this uptrend remain in play. Let's take a look as well that, okay, let's see on your stats. Your stats, so your stats are just there. C, Chelsea managed to go up following Dito, right? So it's always been just Dito and C following. Now Corp is nowhere in the zone here. So it used to be in the top 10, top 20. Right now, what's happened with now is that it was just simply sleeping. So it's sleeping. It didn't go as much as Dito. If it followed Dito, it's already at about 550, right? So so far, we are seeing that Dito Telecoms looks to be stronger than other than Now Corp, just from a technical perspective. So we've got Converge. I said that Converge looks to be in a mixed movement. You've got this initial support at 13.2. You've got that resistance at 16.8 heavy. So I would say that this is just still mixed. You can't say that it's going up. You can't say it's going down. It is in the nowhere zone. Nowhere zone yan. You don't know anything much. It's too early to predict what it will do. So the index, so you could see Bloomberry. Okay, let me explain Bloomberry. Bloomberry is something that has been climbing up, and actually it was going up from 450 all the way to as high as 7 and 8. Fell down to 6. It's very volatile, so this one can even go 650. Nonetheless, I would say that there will always be buyers. Take note that Bloomberry has a historical volatility that is bigger than most. So it has a bigger range. It always goes down big and also goes up big. So there is that crazy volatility. Some people like craziness. Some people like volatility. That's what you get on Bloomberry, volatility. In terms of top gainers, it's Dito, it's Chelsea. Let's take a look at what happened on your Philex Petroleum as well. Is it getting an earthquake or am I just medyo nahihilo ko? Parang may earthquake ba? Anyway, Philex Petroleum, let's see. Philex Petroleum, nandyan lang, sleeping. So wala pa. We can't say anything. It's just in a flag. So with Philex Petroleum just sleeping, what's happening to Philex Mining? Just sleeping as well. What's happening to your APX? Just sleeping as well. So it's just sleeping. Can't say anything conclusively. Let it consolidate. So your index is down, stats are down. It's just really brought about by this one. So it's brought about by your indices. So entire world was falling down last night, and the reason was because, so you could see everything was red. Nobody was spared. You had a good number or a bad number, people would have sold you anyway. So Microsoft actually reported 20% good cloud computing number, but people sold it anyway. Nonetheless, I'm actually happy that we had some winners, even if it was a really down day on US. Like we've got for Solar still climbing up, great earnings, of course. And even in the US and even in Japan, I was taking a look at some of our Sonys. Sony continued higher, so kaboom. So actually, I was taking a look at some of our winners. It wasn't really as badly hit as you would have thought. And that's what also I'm seeing, that the Philippines is not as badly down as much as you thought. It's actually not as bad. It's just really just normal profit taking. I will take a look at your questions so that I could understand. Enrique Go said, down US market, down PSEI. Down ang MM ko to 3.4, but okay lang. Need to buy more pag sakali sa 325. What would you advise? Mary Mart, in my view, is it's just there. So I don't know if it's gonna go up. I don't know if it's gonna go down. Actually, it might be good to take a look nga pala. I forgot to take a look. There's a lot of clarification of news reports. No? Let's read a few things before answering your question. Pero for Mary Mart, I think it's neutral. I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I think it's just neutral. Let's take a look on some news. There is this SEC approving Philinvest Land, Mega-wide City Land offerings. The SEC has approved the planned public offerings of Philinvest Land, Mega-wide, and City Land. They're planning to make a 30 billion peso fixed rate bond offering for Philinvest, the 5 billion peso perpetual preferred shares offering of Mega-wide, and a 1.4 billion peso commercial papers of Cityland. So that's a lot of money, 30 billion for Philinvest. Philinvest had applied and they wanted to do an offering of up to 6.75 billion with an oversubscription option of about 2.25 billion. It will consist of bonds maturing in 2023 and 2026, which is expected to generate up to 8.88 billion in net proceeds. General corporate purposes, who's the investment banker, it's BDO, BPI, China Bank, East West, SB Capital, book runners. So they said that they would like to inform that if FLI is not the source of this news article, and it hasn't received its SEC approval for this shelf registration. Nonetheless, guys, what does that mean? It means that Philinvest plans to raise money. And honestly, as an investor, I would prefer that Philinvest can take advantage of low interest rates. Tingnan natin yung FLI, ah. Okay, FLI, actually, you told me, sorry, not you told me. I told you that Philinvest has this dividend of about 3 centavos coming in November 11. So actually, on that dip of 97 cents or 96 cents, I would think that that is a good entry opportunity. And those who entered 92 cents, 91 cents, 95 cents, all of these are great. Actually, as you know, you've got this dividend. Even if, let's say, on that day, let's say 98 goes down to 95. Let's say whatever you receive, 3 cents, also goes down 3 cents. Doesn't matter, because if you think that Philinvest land will recover to about 1 to 2 pesos someday in the future, then you should be buying while it's low and not really caring if the market tells you that it's going to go down. Because I really believe that this has already bottomed out. It bottomed out here at 80 cents. Yes, you can buy it at 91 cents, 94 cents, 95 cents. The thing is, I don't think that those people who got in at 90 cents are planning to sell it to you at just a 10% gain. I don't think so. They took the risk to buy 90 cents so that they could sell it at 1.5 or 1.3 or 1.2. So they might as well hold on to it and receive that 6 centavos every single year. So yun, parang there are opportunities in the market that doesn't normally happen. Why is it giving you 6%? It's just rare because Philinvest never really trades 95 cents. It doesn't trade that low. It's just a pandemic. That's why you can buy it that low. Do you see Dito now as a strong long-term investment? I don't see Dito Telecom going higher as the current price is already at 6.7. Meaning, can you make it go 10 pesos or 8 pesos? I don't know. But I wouldn't say that it is sell. You can sell it knowing that looks like there's a lot of buyer at 6 pesos anyway. Looks like there's a lot of buyers at 5 pesos anyway. Those kinds of things. Like parang, if you sell it at 6.70, will it go to 3 pesos? I don't think so. Will it go to 10 pesos? I don't think so. So the large ranges are nowhere. You could see that Dito is just sleeping in a range. 6, 7, 6, 7. Maybe it goes to 6. Maybe it goes to 7. Parang ganun. So nandun siya. Stuck na siya sa consolidation. What's your view on Megawide? Megawide is actually cheap and they're trying to raise money. However, the problem with all construction firms is that everything was delayed. Everything had to construct at a later date. So they got delayed projects. And so even the airport was delayed. Do you think that they will win the NAIA airport? Where do you think the price will go if ever? Well, we said that Megawide at 750 below is being bought. It's just sleeping there. But it can only rise 9 to 10. At the very least, they still have to... they've got a lot of money needed for those projects. So I'm a little bit iffy because there are companies in the market that that seems to have a better chance of recovery. Nonetheless, is it gonna sleep at 750? Okay lang. I don't know if it's gonna go up, but I think like sleeping siya dyan. Mac close at 5. Any thoughts? Thank you. Macro Asia is one of those reopening picks that I believe in. I personally think that when you want to make the biggest money in the market, you have to bet that there will be a reopening play. And that pandemic reopening play would be best captured by your restaurants, by your hospitality industry. And tourism and hospitality is best exemplified by your Macro Asia or Cebu Pacific. Therefore, at 5 all the way to 4, I would think that it's a good opportunity. I don't think that you'll just sell it at 6. Maybe short term, you sell it at 6. But if you look at it long term, can it go to 7? Can it go to 8? Chances are you can. So you just wait it out. Pure Gold is stable. I don't think you'll make lots of money if you buy it at 41. Neither would you make so tremendous downside if you buy it at 41. You probably can sell it at 48. You can even probably sell it at 50 or 60 someday. But that is someday. In the short term, you've got the resistance at 44 and 47. In the short term, you still have support at 38. If worst case happens. If you buy it at 42 to 38, I think your downside is small. Hello po, paki-public. Ano yung pa-public natin? Hindi ko alam. Renewable energy is good. I think that people were just taking profit on your ASEN. I still that it is an alpha play. So even if it goes 330, most likely there will be people who catch it. Mary Mart and SSI. Mary Mart is steady. So I think it's neutral. SSI, I am bullish on SSI. I made a report, well, here on a video, I said maybe SSI is a strong secular investment. Shake Shack Philippines opened October 27. Shake Shack Philippines went from 115 to 130. I think that there will be sellers at 130. They think that 15% they want to leave. It's fine. However, I think that taking profits on SSI at 130 is too early. Why don't you think about it one year from now? Can SSI recover? They've got Shake Shack Philippines, they've got Salad Stop, they've got Crystal Jade. They also did a good job in e-commerce. So in my view, they've also been closing a lot of stores. So SSI is lean and mean already, just like what PPI did. BPI was lean and mean. They did a cost-efficient structure. So in my view, SSI is doing the right digital transformation steps. So I'm not bearish in SSI. I would argue that SSI might even go 2 pesos someday in the future. Converge is mixed in my view. Converge, the market doesn't know whether they would buy it or they would sell it. The reason why is because they don't know if they should pay a premium to a growth company. The growth is there. The income is not there, definitely. In the next 2 to 3 years, Converge will keep on expanding and expanding and expanding. So there will be capex, capex, capex. You shouldn't expect cash flows from Converge, but you should expect, in my view, residential store growth. As long as Converge can continue to grow from 2 million households currently to as high as 5 million households in the next 3 years, I think Converge will be paid a premium. So currently, Converge is being paid a premium. It's not cheap. We know it's not cheap, but we know that the reason why it's not cheap is because it has growth. There's a ton of blue ocean opportunity for broadband connectivity, which Converge wants to capture. So it's a question mark to me. I'm not bearish, I'm not bullish. It's a question mark to me. IMI looks good. Does IMI have a share on the EV trend? Nope. As far as I know, no. Thanks, Nikki. Is there a lot of foreign selling now that it's causing this down market or just profit taking? To be honest, I think that it's just a normal profit taking. I do not see the Philippines to be outperforming the world. And the truth is, if you take a look at the US, people are hyperventilating, but I can show you later in so many charts that it's not really a cause of any profit. I mean, it's just normal. Corrections are normal. Nicolasia, I think, is okay. Nicolasia is in an EV uptrend. You have to see that if electric vehicles will quadruple in the next 4 years, 5 years, then Nicolasia will have that demand. Therefore, there is a floor on nickel, and the nickel prices will not go down. However, will that be ceiling at 4 pesos? Will it be captured, priced in at 4 or 5 pesos? That is the question mark. I don't think Nicolasia will go as low as 3 pesos. It's now what, 360? So it used to be profit taking at 330 to 3. So I think like Nicolasia, while the market can fall, we have to say that Nicolasia will outperform. I'm not sure if it will fall as much as the market will. Of course, right now, Nicolasia can fall because it already has rallied to as high as 3.6, 3.7. People are skeptical on whether they should take profit on Nicolasia. But I would understand that Nicolasia will not go as low as people might think. It rallied because of a real secular trend, so it won't go down 3 pesos. This is a consolidation. I think it goes 350 maybe or 340. That is a buying area. But I'm biased. I believe in bullish EV, and I think that nickel captures that beneficiary move. Which local online securities has a platform? Well, there's a lot. I'm using Wealth Securities. I work here, but you can use any platform that you want. So you can just check and Google search. Of course, I'll be biased. I'll tell you that you can use Wealth Securities. But everyone is really the same, like 0.25% commissions. You can access every Philippine brokerage firm, just Google search. IMI po, regarding the earnings report. Hindi talaga bearish ako kasi sa semiconductor sa Pilipinas eh. Sobrang ganda ba ng earnings report ng IMI? Bakit niyo ba tinatanong IMI? Maganda ba? As far as I know kasi ang magaling is Nvidia eh. 6% up. Hindi pa rin ako convinced guys. Biased ako eh. Sorry. Pag semiconductor talaga, US tayo. Nvidia, AMD, Qualcomm. Ceilings binili na ni AMD. Hindi mo talaga ako ma-change eh. Kasi malaki masyado yung semiconductor abroad. Hindi kaya ng Pilipinas yan. Kahit sa automakers, Nvidia yan. Lahat ng Tesla, Xiaopeng, Nvidia yan. Hindi ako naniniwala sa mga Philippine companies. Sorry, hindi ako naniniwala. Miss Nikki, what do you think of penny stocks like BSC? I have no idea. What is your view on PNB? Will they ever have dividends? PNB will have a special dividend if and only if they have a special non-recurring income. The plan of PNB is, well, I'm not thinking that they will do dividends, but if they make a huge profit based on the PNB stake sale, I said, remember when Alco made a, was it Alco? Alco nga ba yun? Yung malaki yung dividend before? Teka lang ha. Alco yun, di ba? Yung nagbigay ng malaking dividends. Was it Alco? Parang, shucks, nakakalimutan ko kasi. May, or ABA. ABA yata yun. ABA yung nagbigay ng malaking dividends eh. ABA. So, yeah. So in my view, in the past, there was a company like ABA who had a huge gain because of that huge profit after selling their properties. So in my view, if PNB will sell some of their real estate, they will make a huge gain. I hope that they issue dividends, but that is not something that the company said. But if they will have good dividends, then that would make PNB rise. So I am biased as well with PNB. I think that it can go 30, 50 pesos, 30, 40, 50 pesos. The current price of PNB at 25 pesos is actually a good deal. In fact, when PNB was trading at about 22, we said, uy, maybe this one will go higher. Baka mag-break ng 25, which it did. It broke out of 25, and then we're now hitting at 27. This is a flag. That is a continuation. So a while ago, you were asking me, Nikki, what do you think of Mary Mart? With Mary Mart, kasi you can probably see it go 350, 360. 340 if you buy, yeah, maybe 350, 360, it goes 6-7% up. Pero what if PNB 25, mabili mo? Mamaya mabenta mong 30 or 35 or 40. Isn't that more attractive? I think parang na mas attractive ako sa mga companies na may ganong upside. Should I cut loss on CHP? Honestly, I don't know anything much about CHP. I think CHP went from 1 peso to 1.7. Magkano na ba siya ngayon? I don't even know how much the price is. Hindi siya nasa watchlist ko. 158. Tulog siya. I really don't have any opinion on CHP. Can go up, can go down. I mean, I think people are assuming that CHP might be bought by some insiders. Parang may buyback program ata yung CHP na yan eh. Pero hindi ko masabi. I really have no idea on CHP. I wouldn't buy it. Pero it's hard to say kung ika-cut loss mo yung CHP. I don't know your cost. Kung cost mo naman, nandyan lang sa 160, tapan mo na sa 158 kasi ang daming mga 25 easy purse. There are easier other, ayoko lang mag-isip ng hard work. It's just so hard. Should I cut loss on CHP? I am at 169. Yes. I don't know why you bought it. If you were thinking that it's cheap, marami naman cheap sa Pilipinas, di ba? So parang, lahat naman sa Pilipinas value eh. Who do you think will win? Do you think the US election is causing this sell-off or profit-taking? Honestly, US elections, volatility, all of that is, wala, normal lang. Yesterday, the market was saying that 60,000, 70,000 coronavirus cases a day, la. Whoever wins naman may stimulus package eh, whether Democrat or Biden, whether Democrat or Republican. Pero in my view, dapat Biden wins, hopefully. Looking at funda and technicals, which stock has the biggest upside potential? Well, fundamentally, if you're gonna ask me, I said ASEN and nickel seems to me one of the best 10x trends in the Philippines. But I said that when nickel was 180, I said that when ASEN was 2.3. I'm just imagining things that ASEN will be a renewable energy power play in entire Southeast Asia. It's gonna take maybe 3 to 5 years, right? And then, of course, I'm bullish on Nickel Asia only because I'm bullish on electric vehicles and what storage batteries will become in the next 3 to 5 years. Can you do margin in wealth sec like call? Yes, but it's a little bit expensive in the Philippines to charge. It's 1% a year. Parang I think that if you're gonna do margin, sorry, it's 1% a month. So parang mahal eh. I think that if you want to do margin, try abroad because US 1.59% a year. Example, you want to buy electric vehicle trend, sobrang dami abroad yan. If you want to play solar trend, ang dami abroad yan. So, is Nickel Asia and ASEN the best way to play the solar trend? The answer is no. There's a lot abroad and you can actually borrow money abroad for just 1.59% a year. Ganda pa ng dollar-peso rate ngayon. Nasa 48.5, 48.8, 48.9. Ang ganda ng palitan ng dollar-peso mo. Thanks, Facebook user. Sabi niya, ABA was the one that gave dividends. So yun, PNB might be a dividend play, but that's just my speculation, assuming that they get to sell a good price on their properties. What's your view on LTG? How come they started to fall? Lucia Tan Group. I'm actually not following Lucia Tan Group. Umangat na yan eh, from 9 to 12, di ba? Malakas na nga eh, 9 to 12. Wala, profit taking lang yan. Hindi ko nga alam kung bakit nag 9 to 12 eh. What is your view? I'm not a trader, I invest. Yun. So, ang view ko nga, nickel and ASEN. Pero guys, actually, ang viewpoint ko is, kung gusto mag-reopening play, pandemic play, matagal ko na pinakita tong Basha Popoy ko eh. For those who aren't aware, nung March, I already predicted that the best way to play the Philippine market was the carnage. I call them the carnage stocks. So lahat ng mga Popoy Basha quotes ginamit ko dyan. Pakita ko sa inyo yung Popoy Basha quotes ko. For those who aren't aware, that was the movie One More Chance. Philippine edition by The Carnage. And I really think that, so ito, the risk reward in your life is just lose 1, win 17. We live in an extraordinary time. Sabi mo, you will buy me at my worst. Gawin mo. Pizza, Shakey's Pizza, Max's, Jollibee, PLC, Bloom, casinos, restaurants. Bilhin mo yung mga yon. Kasi, kapag nagkakaroon ng crisis, sila yung mga nagsarado, di ba? All the restaurants of Shakey's Pizza, sarado. All Max's restaurants, nagsarado. All Jollibee stores, nagsarado. ECQ. Casino, sarado. Sarado yung mga casinos niyan. Actually, yung airline, sarado din. So, yun talaga yung mga perfect pandemic plays. So, if you ask me, yung mga 100, 200%, yun talaga. Hindi siya secular trend in the sense na hindi naman tayo kakain ng 10 times more na Chicken Joy, di ba? But at the same time, hindi siya nararapat to trade at that 99 level. So ngayon, 170, I think it's gonna go 200. But, you know, if pandemic ends, saan yan? 220? Especially if Tim Ho Wan and all the Mang Inasal and all the Jollibees in the world will succeed. Kahit na sabihin mo, Smash Burger nga, nagsasucceed na rin eh. Coffee Bean Tea Leaf, kung nag-succeed, edi better pa yon. Sabi ni Biden, Biden din ako. Well, LeBron James, sila Dwayne Johnson, sila Taylor Swift, Biden yan. So, I think Paul's already said Biden wins. And Biden is pro-clean tech. So, if you're thinking investment, clean tech energy ka. Nagkataon lang sa Pilipinas, konti yung clean energy. Kaya nga malakas yung LNG eh, na FGen. FGen is clean tech. FGen is clean tech, kaya nga malakas eh, no? Boom. So, the market, I think, plays solar. That is also one thing that I would advise you. Similar din po ba yung carnage idea sa capitulation? Yeah, in a way, parang ganun, carnage, patay, di ba? Parang scorched earth. Talagang hinulog mo siya. Actually, one of the best plays rin, if you're investing, in my view, I actually said last night, binebentahan yung mga coal, di ba? Siyempre, patay kasi, like fossil fuel, nagkakaroon ng shift yung world na we have to go, well, we're not gonna go solar immediately in a day, but there's a shift. So kung 80-20 yung labanan, 80% coal, 20% renewable, we're gonna shift it. Gawin nating 50-50 yan. Lumindol, no? O nga, lumindol nga eh. So yun, na-climate change na kasi. Actually, the world is really, maraming pollution, and stuff. So, kailangan talaga natin tong mga solar, renewable energy. Hence, if you're gonna ask me on any dips, those would be my secular investments, ASEN and nickel. On dips, siguro hirap ka to buy now, pero kung bumagsak na mga 330 yan, bili yan. 350, 330, bili na yan. Yun, ang carnage idea, I don't think you will make a lot of money, pero you'll make maybe 50 to 100%. Last na for me, IDC for next week. IDC went from 220 to 280. Stock divs yata to, di ba? But after that, parehas lang siya sa lahat ng property plays. For IDC to really go up, property has to rise. So if people don't think that properties as a sector is gonna rise, may hangganan. Kumbaga, when, di ba, you remember I was saying, Ayala Land, okay naman. Kaso, but if it rallies 36, 38, nandyan na naman yung selling. Nandyan na naman yung selling. Pag umangat yung Mega World ng 330, 360, andyan na naman yung selling. So talagang parang natratrap tayo. Parang index, 5.9, okay. 6.8, 6.7, 6.6, dami na namang sellers dyan. So natratrap ka. Palaging may trap. It's not it's not a bad thing kasi the market is just pricing in na, guys, we cannot go 50% in the index just because. Wala pa naman talaga yung mga income ng tao, nawalan sila ng income. How do you expect the market to recover? Nandiyan na ba yung economy natin? While that is true, I also am not bearish. You have to be neutral. I think that you have to be neutral. 6.3 yung market, some people will buy. BDO 89, pwede yan. Bakit? Mabibenta ko ng 9,900 yan eh. I know it can go 87, but I can also wait, di ba? I think that the market, you have to be very careful of being bearish, but you also have to be careful about being bullish. Just stay neutral. You have to be humble enough to know that you don't know. You can always be imperfect. But at the same time, andyan na yung obvious. Malakas yung AGI. Malakas yung DNL. Malakas yung Jollibee. Pag nakikita mo naman na may malalakas, pwesto ka sa mga lalakas. Nickel Asen, malakas. Agree. So, kung makakuha ka ng entry, get it. Now, the market is pricing in today. Dito, malakas. Okay siya if you have it. Pero kung bibili ka pala ngayon sa 677, think twice. Pwede mo naman, baka mabili mo naman sa 6.1, 6.2. Hindi ko alam. Plus, at the end of the day, sino ba panalo? We don't know. Labanan yan, di ba? PLDT, Globe, Converge, now, dito. 5 sila nag-aaway for your wallet. Kung sino ang broadband subscription na pipiliin mo. So, labanan yan. And the market doesn't really know the winner. The truth is, right now, the incumbents have a competition. The competition, pagalingan na lang. So, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.